We've built this off-road capable monster out of a cargo van, like the ones your Amazon deliveries come in. And today, I'm determined to drive it on a beach. We don't live anywhere near a beach. But our main problem actually is, we need to finish it first, because we're far from done. We are located out here in the northern part of Texas, far from any beach. So the game plan is to customize the interior of the Black Pearl for the trip, including sound deadening, insulation, bracket seats, even a Hawaiian redneck stereo system for the trip of 1,600 miles in the unproven van. Only one way to find out if we get there. Now, building out a Sprinter van is nothing new. It was all the rage back in 2020, and we're a few years late to the party, but this is me holding up my end of the deal to my wife. This is her dream build, and we're gonna make it happen. Personally, for the channel, I want to start getting out to more automotive events, and even, heck, construction events. And this is gonna be the avenue to get there. It's even set up to tow. It's gonna be an awesome addition to the fleet, and we're gonna build it to be one of one. The perfect mix of utility and luxury comfort. The seats that we have installed in the back of the Black Pearl are from a Mercedes Metris, whatever the Mercedes minivan is. That's not really here in the continental US. Story behind these, if you don't know it, I bought them off of eBay because they're listed for a Sprinter van when I bought them. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. They're incredibly nice, very robust and well made, but a pain in the ocole to retrofit into a Sprinter van. But we've built brackets for them, reinforced the frame up underneath, but we currently only have 2 of the 3 installed in the van. And as you can imagine, 2 young brothers sitting shoulder to shoulder for 1,600 miles. Not touching me! Not touching. Is not a recipe for success. So we are going to install the 3rd seat, which means we need to build another bracket right about here. Before we touch the floor, we're gonna address the biggest complaint I have in this van, and it's the roof line. They forgot to use panel bond. They didn't bond the roof at all to these cross members. So any speed above 50 miles an hour, the roof does this. And as you can imagine, that gets old after a while. So we took the Mercedes in to the Mercedes dealer for its first ever service, told the Mercedes dealer about the problem the Mercedes van was having with the roof line being inadequate from factory, and they're happy to tell us that we're not a body shop. We can't do that. So I said, don't bother, I'm just gonna do it myself. So I bought some 3M panel bond, and we're gonna bond this thing ourselves. And figuring we're gonna need to put some weight on the roof after that glue is in there, we grabbed our OEM Mercedes approved barbells. 3M panel bonding adhesive 08115. We gotta buy a special plunger thing as well to apply this. All in the name of not paying someone else to do it. This is gonna be a 2-part epoxy that mixes up and becomes very strong, that it should never shake ever again. No thanks to the dealership. This 3M panel bond is pretty impressive and is actually an OEM level type of product. And we're gonna use this truck bed cargo hold I got from Harbor Freight to lift that panel up. Now this stuff wasn't cheap, so I hope it works. This stuff is not as nearly as thick as I thought it was gonna be. It's just like oozing and dropping everywhere. You had plans to paint this floor, right? Because it's build a van, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Okay, I think I'm out finally. Good riddance.
Get more rain on.
Okay, let me see. There we go. So now I gotta take all the weights to the roof and drop it on. I hope this ladder doesn't give way. Oops.
Here, here's a 25-pounder. I can do that one. No, I can't.
Please don't fall. Let me get some mineral spirits and then grab me a lighter. Giving up. Throwing in the white flag on this already. That's coming up. Just because I want to go to the beach. We'll see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll go on to probably the bracket, seat bracket. So I gotta take these out, remove the floor, cut one more in, put the floor back in, paint it because now it's got black spots all over it, and then go to the beach.
What?
Rainy day today, guys, but we are back and this has had all night to set up, and my goodness, this stuff is absolutely solid. Even this little bit here that just stuck on the roof line, I can't get it off. Stoked about that. On to the next task. We're gonna pull up the floor, we gotta build the bracket for the third seat, and then go on with the sound deadening project. Rolling in luxury when we're done with this thing. Let's go. Maui gets to spend a week with Nana. Yeah, you're gonna be 15 pounds heavier when you come home. We're stripped. We're bare for the most part. We're gonna leave the top panels up because everything under there is good and complete. That door, I forgot to pull off the door because it was open. What's the game plan? This is your van.
This is my van. Put sound deadening foam on the floors. Floors need to be done. And then also the roof. That's our main focus. This one likes to get sidetracked and it was like, what about the sides? What about the back? Floors and top first because those need to be done. And then we'll move on to whatever we have left over. We'll go to the sides.
Fortunately, it's solid now. It doesn't rattle, but it's also incredibly hot. It's a black van, so any sunlight, this just becomes 10,000 degrees. We'll come through each of these channels with a thick piece of foam that'll run the length of it. And I think if we do have time, we're gonna try to cover this up with something that looks nice. But at least for the meantime, it'll be not a million degrees. Step number one, make this quiet and comfortable. And then move on to step number two, which is make it sound really good. Hawaiian redneck stereo. Gonna use my stereo from when I was a teenager and wire it in. I got a great idea. Just stick around. It might burn the van to the ground, but it'll be cool.
It's not.
And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix.
Let's go. All right, we're trying to figure out where exactly I gotta mount this bracket up. That's why the seats are back in here. But I couldn't do that with the floor in. We pull the floor out, put the brackets back in to mark where this is gonna be. Okay, these seats are awesome. I chose a good seat, even though they were the wrong seat for the wrong car.
Bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet.
We're building the van, boys. It's night and day difference. Doesn't look like a lot. We've been working all day on this, but this sound deadening, amazing. So we have the Kilomat-like stuff, so essentially sound deadening here underneath. And then on top of that, we have this foam insulation with an adhesive backing. So Aloha has been killing it with all the sound deadening. We also had some extra Kilomat, which was gifted to us by my father. He put this throughout his entire 99 Silverado project, which you'll be seeing on the channel very soon. But what I've been working on are these seat brackets to raise the back seats up 3 inches. But this is all tied in to the underside and tied in to the cross members on the frame. So to be honest, in a worst case scenario, this entire van will fold up into a ball before that gets folded at all. The seat will be raised 3 inches from where it was previously, which should put it just about even with the front seats. Last few pieces over here just drying from paint. We hit it with a flat black just to ghost it in. All right, we need 4 bolts. I was hoping I wouldn't have to run to the store, but we are. Good excuse to take the Whipple supercharged Silverado. Oh, that sounds good. So we're gonna go get 4 grade 8 bolts from Tractor Supply, which is the bracket thing the seat hooks into. This guy's coming because he thinks there's gonna be chickens there.
These guys.
Oh, they do have chicken. Oh, they are. They're black ones.
And look at these are tiny.
That seat height's gonna be so much better. Okay. You see this wrench?
Yeah.
I need you to hold this with big muscles, okay? Can you hold it steady? Okay. Here we go. Okay. Can you say solid?
Solid.
Perfect. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now you come out. Like, literally, watch. Done. Let's go to bed. Inside's cleared out, ready to go. Roof is done for now. I think we're gonna add like a Finsulate or an insulation on top of that foam before we go and cover the entire top to make it look pretty. But for now, I think it's good. Floor is our next area of focus. So we have put in and taken out this a couple times to get this cut right, but we have our third seat bracket cut in. So we're gonna start with sound deadening, for sure the wheel wells, and in the area that we sit, and we'll add a few pieces here throughout, but then we're gonna go on top of that with that thicker foam to cover the entire floor. This is gonna be a night and day difference from before driving it. And we still have a ton of other things and only about 24 hours before we leave. Before the sound deadening and insulation foam can be installed, we have to scrub the floor clean so it can stick. Aloha starts with the wheel wells and places the sheets around the floor. Now, these are all going to be covered up in foam, so the placement of these aren't too critical. Meanwhile, I pull out the front seats to install another special ask that Aloha had for us. But before then, we get to reveal a special gift we got for the wifey, given the goal today is to get to the beach. Hey, you know that cool bike that I've been playing around with for a few months?
Yeah.
Electric just launched the all-new XP4 version of the bike that I've been playing with for a while, the XP3, and they sent it in your color for you.
Oh.
Yeah, so we got a cool sponsor sponsoring today's video that's gonna be utilized for sure out in Florida on the beach, but we're gonna have two of them. Big mahalo to Electric e-bikes for sponsoring today's video. These are sick. Da 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 da. So guys, this is the all-new XP4 from Electric e-bikes because I wanted to congratulate her on the promotion at work. Exactly. And when I say promotion, an assignment.
You're now looking at an 8th grade coach and teacher.
Soccer,
Yep.
basketball,
Yep.
and cross country. And as someone that ran competitively for the majority of his young life, there's one thing that our coaches didn't have, because it wasn't a thing back then, that they would have benefited from, and it's one of these bad boys.
Hello.
You're gonna be enjoying those miles versus them actually running it.
Yeah.
Hey, that color looks good on you.
Thanks.
This is the Raindrop Blue, new color for the XP4. Now, before she uses it for the cross-country team, we're taking them both to the beach. We're taking a van to the beach, we're taking these bikes to the beach, have a couple of family bike rides. Electric e-bikes is proud to be one of America's fastest growing electric bike brands with over 500,000 units sold in the last 5 years. They were born from a desire to make affordable, high quality e-bikes, with several of their models coming under the $1,000 mark. The all new XP4 they just launched comes with new colors, this one in Raindrop Blue, full color display, 602 hydraulic brakes, 750 watt motor with up to 85 miles of range. You can customize the bikes, haul cargo, drop off kids, pick up groceries, or even just creep on the builders next door in the new development. So click the link in the description below or scan that QR code on screen to check out their new rides and add a bike cover to your order and get it for free with the code LONESTAR at checkout. And this is not the last time you're seeing this bike in this episode. Assuming we finish the van, make it all the way out to Florida and to the beach, we're taking these things out on a beach ride. We're determined. Now, we got two things we're gonna do. We're gonna install a seat swivel on both of those seats so you actually can swivel and turn backwards. But also while I'm in here, I'm gonna figure out how to rig up a stereo system. So right now, this is a cargo van, so there's only 2 speakers in the front. So instead what we're gonna do is tap in to the front speaker, run it to an amplifier, and have an amplifier power 2 additional speakers that'll be behind the driver and passenger. Easiest way, cleanest way without having to go into the dash. All we gotta do is go into the door. So while Aloha finished up the floor, I pulled the front door panel off to get to these speaker wires. Once we got in, I tapped into the wires that came from the radio to the speakers to send that signal to the amplifier. This is kind of the cheap and dirty way to do this. Quick update, we're not really going in depth because this is kind of boring and painstakingly long. We've run all the wires. So we've tapped into the front speakers and it's gonna be the high level input into the amplifier. Here's that. We need to clean up all of these wires, but we're gonna mount it ground here. We have power running up underneath. And the plan is to actually put 2 speakers up underneath the back seat where the boys will sit. It's probably a temporary solution for now until we do a full build out on the interior, but I think it's gonna work well. And the speakers we're using are my speakers from high school, my stereo system. Don't hate the player, hate the game, guys. Super speed! And you too. Super. Wifey pointed out something important. We wired in our speakers, and then she's like, hey, the floor has to go on. This has got to be unhooked again, but before the floor is going to go in, we're going to test everything out. But before we test everything out, we got to get the seats back in place and hooked back up, or else we'll get an airbag error, which means it's time for our swivel seats. All right, so we got a driver and passenger sides. There are a couple options when it comes to these seat swivels, the main name brand. $400 a seat swivel. And I go to check out, they wanted like 150 bucks to ship it. Found these for like $150 for the pair of them, shipped for free. Same exact concept, extremely robust. These are not gonna swivel as good. We're being budget conscious on some of these. Oh, these are nice. Here, so I wanna swivel. I hit this unlock, I can turn the seat, and it's got another lock. Here, and it locks in place. That's nice. La 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 la, chicken. That was so much work for 2 speakers. I hope they work. So, let me do that, add a washer. I felt like this was gonna happen. Yeah, that ain't gonna fit. I gotta hone them out a little bit. The price for paying for eBay stuff. You gotta modify the mods. I know why she gave me that look. Here. Because she wanted to buy the $1,000 seat swivels, 10 less than the ones that she wanted for the exact same thing. The only difference is I gotta hone these out just a little bit.
How many hours?
5 minutes. 5 minutes for $1,000. I'll do that any day. Tell mommy she crazy.
Mama, you're crazy. Daddy,
You're cheap.
Daddy, you're cheap.
Let's make one thing clear. All I said was floors and roof. That's our focus. We're adding speakers. It
But
took
look at them.
all
So
day.
cool. Yeah.
Still not in, and we don't know if it works.
Oh, and I raised your seat too.
But I said, never mind. We'll just keep it as it is. We raised it anyway.
We all know what that means. Oh, hear the sound of that? Sounds like $1,100 saved.
Woo,
Does it work?
it works.
Do you like it?
It's pretty fun.
So tomorrow we are reassembling all of this. And we need to get packed up because we're going to Florida in like T-minus a few hours. So, all right, we're about ready for the moment of truth. If all that work for these stinking speakers was worth it. Amplifiers underneath that seat, both of those seats swivel. All the wires are run, and it's just sitting out right here because I got to unhook it, put the floor back in, and I put the speaker back in. There we go.
On the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
Not ideal. Got an airbag malfunction, and the speakers are not working. Today is not starting out great. Okay, we're all good. Stereo works amazing. I didn't realize the power source I hooked up to is an ignition on source, meaning not a key on, but ignition on. So you hit that start button twice, and the amplifier will turn on, and those back speakers are impressive. By far outdoing the front ones. But we still got to figure out why now I'm getting an airbag malfunction from the right side. Let's start getting this thing put back together. Reassembly. Such a satisfying part of the job. Only if it weren't 100 degrees in this shop. Yes, we need to finish the Dream Shop project, and we have an update coming very soon. I'm super stoked to dive back into this shop build soon, but I gotta get this van put back together. Oh! All right, we got about 1 million bolts to put in this floor to hold it down. Night and day difference. This is gonna be a fun drive. Let's go. Home stretch, guys. Floor's in, wall panels are in. We should have one more panel to go on the inside of that door. And we've added, or I've added a lot more mounting locations just to keep this from shaking or rattling. We do have one other thing we need to install, and I forgot about it till now, which is the drop bracket for the handbrake. So in order for this swivel to actually swivel, we do have to drop the handbrake by about 1 inch. Now these two pieces of metal cost $80. Thank you, Sprinter Van Tax. So we're gonna take off these 2 bolts, add this bracket, remount it, and basically this will be down here, and it will allow that seat to swivel without hitting the top of the brake. Voila. Move the seat up. Pull the lever. Wrong lever. Are we clear? How are you supposed to clear the steering wheel?
I have no idea.
Oh, we can.
Yeah.
There you go. You're clear. Not worth it.
No.
I think it's gonna be like night and day difference from what it was before. All the rattles, the roof flapping in the wind, the floor completely insulated with foam, these seats that can freaking turn around, which is a big deal apparently. But most importantly is this guy. It goes to my stereo system from when I was in high school, and it bumps. And by the way, I added this plug because we had to put the floor in with the speakers, and I figured if we ever have to do this again, move stuff around, I'd just unplug the speakers and pull them out versus having to cut them and rewire them. Ooh, that's close. We're good though. This is easier with 2 people. This one needs a little love. We got 3 seats. Goodbye. What you want? You like some shave ice? I would love some shave ice right now. Oh, that's perfect. No! Yes, massage those feet. I love this swivel. So what we're gonna do now is take a quick test drive to make sure it actually runs correctly. I'm worried about that airbag light. I've had the battery unhooked for about 4 hours now. Hopefully it's had time to reset. We're gonna make a run out of Chili's for a test drive. We're hitting the road, going to Florida. All right, guys, we've gone through 2 test drives and we're just gonna go for it. The insulation is night and day. Quiet, cooler versus what it used to be. It's time to pack up the most important part of all of this. Priorities. This guy. Both electric e-bikes folded in half, actually folded 3 ways. Son's bike, other son's bike, and we also have our surfboard strapped to the roof. We roll out at midnight, so hopefully it's a smooth sailing drive. Catch you guys in a few seconds. First fuel up, 5:14 a.m. Moving along. We're somewhere in Louisiana at the moment. The Pearl is running strong. This thing is awesome. Top speed, not its strong suit. 67 miles an hour is the happy spot where it's not constantly shifting down, shifting up. I think we're averaging 16 miles a gallon with the new wheel and tire setup. Off camera, before we left, I went ahead and installed the roof rails, finally. We've been sitting on these for about a year. They were never installed, so that is on now. Well, that didn't take long. First drive ever in this thing. That's a big old chip in the windshield. And it wasn't even anything. It was like a Toyota Tacoma, like a half mile up, and it just goes whack. Now our destination is not the beach, it is O'Reilly Auto Parts, because I'm gonna fill that before it spreads. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Rain-X windshield repair kit. This is the best one I've used previously on this window. So this gives me the second patch on this stupid thing. So we're gonna knock this out quick before that crack spreads, because as this heats up, likelihood to continue on.
Shook down, Delta lady, won't you free my soul and send me back to Caroline?
So we got places to go. We're supposed to let that sit for like 10 minutes, but I just duct taped it to the windshield, and now we're gonna drive in the hot Florida sun, and that should cure it. I think that's my best one yet. Can't even see the crack anymore. Let's go. Woo! Made it. Black Pearl for the win. Windshield repair, also for the win. Gotta scrape that off. Here's our humble abode for the next few days. Oh no. Saj.
And then he pulled over to repair it.
Oh. Yeah, window chip.
Hey.
This thing's a magnet.
Yo, dude.
Public beach.
Delta lady, won't you free my soul and send me back to Caroline?
What's up, cool dude? The Pearl. Holy crap, that's how humid it is here. This little place has been so fun. This is a really nice place. But this Pearl looks insane here. I will say, out of all my vehicles, this turns more heads than anything.
Yep.
And it's still fogging up.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be our.
Look at this.
I can see it from the front.
It's so humid. I thought Texas was humid. This
All
puts
right.
Texas to shame. You liking your van so far?
I love my van.
Nice, turned out great. The 3 seats in the back, good choice. This is cool. Brayton Beach State Park. The jewel of Northwest Florida. I just wanted to get close to the beach, and it turns out that driving on the beach can't really do that here, nor can you do it in most places, but I was optimistic. But we're gonna get as close as we possibly can to driving at the beach, which is what we're doing now, because the beach is right there. We're driving here. We might accidentally, veer off the road for a minute just to check that box.
Good morning.
There's a kayak place.
Yeah, I said that.
I mentioned this thing turns more heads than anything. You know, even that little girl in the back of that car was like, oh, look! The Pearl turns heads. It's funny because it's absolutely humongous, but it actually takes up less space than either of our trucks. It's easier to park, the turning radius is insane, and it's actually like skinnier and shorter than a full-size pickup truck.
And look at all this room for activities.
Ooh.
Those black Rhino wheels,
Oh yeah.
FVC bumper, roof rack, side steps. Look at us van lifers. Also happy to say, our windows, we've gone through multiple rainstorms here. Not one drop of water has gotten in. So our windows do not leak. All right guys, hang out in just a minute. We're gonna go over a few important details about the van, what's coming, because as you can clearly see, the inside's not built out yet, and we need to discuss what's happening for it, and I need your help deciding exactly what we're gonna be doing with the inside of that van. All right, so welcome to our humble abode, our home away from home, but not really a home, and not really gonna be built out into a home, but we do have some epic plans. We have sand on the tires and sand on the van. All right, so welcome to the back of the van. This is gonna be the game plan, and where we're gonna need your input, because this is not our expertise. When it comes to truck builds, car builds, I kind of know what to do. This one's kind of a blank canvas. We spent a ton of time fixing all of that. Now the question is, we have all this space back here. What's the game plan?
It's not going to be your typical van life type. I like the openness idea of everything, but it would be ideal if we did have benches right here. Fold it and then it folds out to a bench. And then if we need to, we can always put it back. And then we'd mirror it on this side.
If there's 2 words to describe what we're doing here, it's gonna be modular and utility.
Yes.
So you're not gonna have like a full-on camper van where once it's built, it's a useless van.
I do want to install a happy jack that drops down. We can put a bed on it. Like I already have cushions for it. It just needs to be able to do both and everything.
So that's the game plan with the back of the van, guys. We're gonna have a place where we can actually camp and sleep if we need to. We need a location we can store all the electronics when it comes to utilizing a accessory battery, the solar panels, all that system. What are we missing, guys? Leave in the comments below. What are we not thinking about? Happy Jack, benches, seating, utility, electronics, solar panels.
For the outside of the van, there are 2 more things I want for sure.
Lights.
Oh, okay, 3. I would love an awning so we can actually have seating out here. I want to do bump outs.
So bump outs with windows, a couple inches.
It kicks out and it actually does have like a little window within the bump out on both sides.
I have some off-road lights coming from Real Truck that go Rhino Lighting. We're gonna have a ton of off-road lights. That's like been the #1 comment on the first video on this thing was we need some more off-road lights. And I fully agree with you. So we got some big lights coming for the top. I have some smaller lights that are gonna be installed kind of where that winch area is. We potentially have a winch coming as well. That was also a comment that showed up a couple times.
That's my biggest thing. It just needs to be open.
That's the game plan, guys. But again, we're new to this. I'm new to this. So if we're missing anything, leave it in the comments below. But it is hotter than Hades right now. And we're gonna go get some breakfast.
Yes.
Overall, this interior feels completely transformed, even though it looks the exact same as when we started. All the rattles, the shaking roof, and the 1,000-degree ceiling are all fixed, and we're stoked about it. The Black Pearl made its flawless 1,600-mile inaugural journey from Texas to Florida and all the way back, even though it was at 16 miles a gallon. It is a sail in the wind. This thing is only going to get better. Modular interior build-out, off-road lights, control system, and a one-of-one Lone Star Hawaiian livery. You know what's coming. Until next time, aloha.